The RtTimeSeries WebPart is used primarily for looking at, well, for historical data, for archive data. If you look at our illustration from earlier, we discussed how the RtValues WebPart is basically looking at exception data, data that has passed the exception test. The RtTimeSeries is more something that would be used for looking at compressed data, data that has passed the compression test. So this would be an example of a series of data going forward in time in either direction, really. This is a series of one value after another, each for the same PI tag. So that's what we're building when we're building the RtTimeSeries. Now let's actually look at how we would build one of these. Now let me point out first that the exercise you're going to see right now, or the steps you're going to see right now, are exactly the same thing as the exercise 4 that you're going to be asked to do at the end of this chapter. So all the steps you're going to see me do are the same things you'll see in the step-by-step solution. So basically, in doing this demo, we'll be looking at the solution for exercise 4. I'll go into this is just a general empty WebPart page in which I'll deposit a time series value. Okay. I'll go ahead and add a WebPart here. We're going to add the RtTimeSeries. And here's our RT WebParts. I move this up. We're looking for RtTimeSeries. And there it is. And I'll go ahead and say, click on OK. So if you want an analog to what we're doing here, it's roughly equivalent to what we do in DataLink when we look at compressed data, or if you've ever used the system management tools for looking at our recorded values plugin. That's really what we're doing here. So like all of our other web parts, we're going to go ahead and modify this. I'm going to modify this by adding let's add a simple tag. I'm going to look at a couple of tags, sinusoid and CDT158. So I'll go ahead and do well, I can just type this in. I know the name of this tag. Now this is going to go with the default server, sinusoid. Okay. And I'll go ahead and add a new. Let's add a new. And I'll do that just by clicking on this button right here. And again, I could do a tag search if I prefer, or if you know the name of the tag, you can just type it in there. I'll go ahead and type this in. So these are my two tags. And I can specify the interval of time. I'll just go with, let's say, an 8-hour period. Now, all the other things you might guess are associated with this, like the columns you choose to show, etc., the number of rows to display. Let's change this to, well, we'll stick with 5 for right now. And some of the things that you see here, the appearance and layout, all those things are just about what you would expect. I'll go ahead and click on OK. And the end result here is a series of archive values for each of those tags I entered. So here are my most recent, this is the most recent 4 hours of archive data. Now I've only decided to show the first 5 at a time. Notice sinusoid is a very busy little tag here on this particular server. So if I scroll forward, you can see we've actually got 2,800 values here for sinusoid. And this also, we're showing just a subset of what we could show of all the set of data here. So you would scroll up and down through that. Oh, there we go. Scroll up and down through this to see all the data. Again, now this is what you would see as an editor. The end user, who's not going to be editing this part, he's going to see this. I exited out of the edit mode there. And just as we've seen before, when you click on the name of the data set, you can get an ad hoc trend out of that. And again, just like the RT values, I can go into the little pull-down menu here, choose ad hoc trend, and see an ad hoc trend to show each of those values. Now we haven't looked too much at these ad hoc trends before. Let me show you some of the things that you can do with an ad hoc trend. Just like a regular PI trend, you can zoom in. So I've just zoomed in to see more. You can click on this and it'll show you the markers, the actual values that indicate that there is where there is an actual process value. So those are our ad hoc trends.